go do this week or whatever, and I go, oh man, I got to do appointments, I got to work this week. And I go, man, that's all you got to do. You got to play once in a while, man. You got to let loose once in a while, right? I mean, if you're not getting that kind of stuff, you're not on enough yet. Okay, even my parents would say that kind of stuff, right? Like you got to lighten up once in a while, right? But that would just prove to me that I was on the right track. Just stay the course, right? Just keep after it, right?
Hey Brandon.
Yeah.
Can you repeat number 3 really quick?
Number 3, I said I didn't pay attention to the masses that chose not to win big. It's kind of like if you want to get in shape, you shouldn't go and pay attention to people that are not in shape, right? I mean, you should pay attention to people that are in shape and copy what they do. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they come into a situation where they can become successful, they have a tendency to pay attention to the people that are doing all the things that the unsuccessful people are doing, right? Well, how come, they've been in the business that long and they're not making any money? Well, because they're not doing all the right things, that's all. Okay? And it might be they're outwardly, there's a lot of people in our company that outwardly do the right things, but their thinking's off. Their thinking's off. Your thinking is like 90% of it. So outwardly they can be doing everything right, but their thinking is off. They've got to get their thinking right first. So if you get your thinking right, your actions will reflect that. Make sense? Okay, so don't pay attention. My Primerica has always been big base shop RVP, big hires and builders. People are that's what I'm going to be. That's my business. And there's been hundreds and thousands that have not done that. Yes or no? Some of you act like that. You're like surprised or something. I think everybody's going to succeed here. Because a year from now, most of you won't be here. You're going to quit. You're going to pansy out. You're going to quit. Isn't that sad?
Prove him wrong. Prove him wrong.
But really, I hope you all do. I really do. I really hope you all do. I just know that the reality is, I mean, it gets tough, right? It's not easy, and that's what I've always liked about it. It's not easy, right? Number 4, audios and books, right? I listen to audios and books Hector Lamarck's Overcoming Objections audio.
Oh, so good.
I listened to that thing. When I first got it, it was a tape, and I wore out 2 tapes. I don't know how many times you have to listen to a tape to wear it out, but it's a lot. I wore out 2 audio tapes. So I've listened to that thing hundreds of times. Okay? Just an example. Books. Always be reading books. I never read self-improvement book. I never had read a self-improvement book before I got in Primerica. I got in Primerica, I started reading some self-help books. I went, oh my gosh, man, can you imagine going my whole life without reading this stuff? No wonder people stay where they stay. Man, I started reading that stuff. I mean, the reason we did what we did is because our mindset changed. I think differently than most, don't I?
Yeah.
I think at a different level than most people. I just do. And probably too often I come across too intimidating to people. I don't mean to. But it's just because, man, I just can't stand I don't like mediocre, right? When I see a human being being mediocre, I don't like that. It's not that I don't like them. I just see so much more in people. I really do. I really see so much more in what people can be if they want to be. Number 5, meetings. I already talked about that. Show up early, stay late, never miss, ever, no matter what, never miss. I probably took that over the top actually once. Lexi went into labor with Jersey, and I still showed up to training that Saturday. No, I got there for the delivery, all right? I wouldn't miss that. You don't think. I went to training, and then she called me, says, okay, you better come over here. And her mom was there. But you ask Lexi if you think it's worth it. You just ask her. You think she thinks it's worth it?
Definitely.
Great, okay? Number 6, no nonsense. What I mean by that, I didn't have time for nonsense. So you know how sometimes people I don't know, we all have issues, would you agree? Challenges happen. We live in life, we have drama stuff come up. I didn't have time for it, and my team knew I didn't have time for it. So because I was always focused on recruiting, training, developing people to change their lives. And so, not to say they didn't have some challenges and we would deal with them, but if they had a challenge, my talk with them was, listen, if you have a challenge, come to me, tell me what you think the solution should be, and we'll talk about that, I'll give you my advice, and then let's move on, okay? Let's deal with it and handle it, right? But we don't have time for like nonsense stuff. I mean, so you have to be too busy for that stuff, right? You have to be on a mission, okay? Look, I'm not talking to you about making a couple grand a month here. I'm talking to you guys about making big freaking money, okay? Doing something big, all right? You can't do that thinking small, acting small, and doing small. And nonsense stuff, like some of the stuff, some of you are like fighting a little bit in your heads. That's the thinking you have to get rid of. If you ever want to make big money, you have to get rid of that thinking. You're in control of your thinking. Oh, I don't have those successful habits. Well, change. Well, I can't. So I will change. I can't just change. Yeah, you can. You can change. It's a decision. You can. Okay. Okay. Number 7. Always stay plugged in. Always stay plugged into the bigger, the hierarchy, the base shop, the Primerica, PFN TV. Stay plugged in. Always be learning from the leaders that have succeeded. Number 8, stay positive and keep it fun. Okay? Find ways to stay positive, keep it fun. Was I positive 100% of the time? No. I mean, every day, you try to be positive all day long, and you just can't do it. I mean, it's like, I think it's impossible. I haven't been able to go a whole day ever and be positive the whole day ever. I'll do pretty good till about 8 or 9 a.m. now. Right? Or see something negative, you know what I'm saying? Right? Get a little streak going for a few hours, maybe halfway through the day, and then something happens, right? It's just, but you find ways to get back on track. You listen to something, you clear your head, whatever you got to do that, right? You're not perfect. Don't expect to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. Anyway, okay? So those are the 8 things I just wanted to add. I'm just kind of random, but okay. So real quick, I want to talk about goals and vision real quick. Do you see yourself with a big base shop? Okay. Do you see yourself? And a lot of you in this room have never really seen a big base shop. You need to listen to Hector's Building a Big Base Shop, or Building a Base Shop audio. How many of you listened to that one before? Anyone listen to Building a Base Shop? Noah? Anybody else? No? Only a few of you? Okay, you need to listen to Hector's Building a Base Shop, okay? Big base shop, okay? So, Jeff Bill said a good job on our team captain last week talking about, 10 by 10 isn't big. 10 recruits, 10, that's not big. 20 by 20 is where it starts, 20 by 20. Now, you got to start seeing yourself with a 50K base shop before you're going to have it. Now, when I got in Brandon's base shop at age 22, I remember going to his meetings. I saw a kid named Randy Wareham. I saw a guy named Troy Whiting. I saw a guy named Kurt Blackburn. Those were like the big 3, okay, in his base shop. And I'm brand new, and I'm looking at Brandon's base shop, and it was a room full of people like this. And I'm going, I don't even know how I could recruit one person, let alone fill up a room like this. You know what I'm talking about? Then I realized it was really only those 3 people that had some teams, and that's what made up his whole base shop. Then I started seeing myself as, I'm going to have that same thing. And so when I started to see myself, if you don't see yourself having a big base shop, you better start like right now. You better start picturing you running a big base shop, running these meetings. Do it right now. Well, Brad, I just started tonight. Well, start seeing it. Because if you don't see it, you'll never hit it. You have to see it. Then do you see yourself having a big hierarchy with like 15, 20, 30 RVPs? No, I don't see that yet. Okay. Well, until you start seeing that, you're not going to have it, so you might as well start seeing it. Okay? Now, I'm not saying it might not just happen right away. At first you're just, I'm going to have that. It's going to be me. You just tell yourself. You just start seeing it. You can't see it, but you just start seeing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You just force yourself to see it. And at first it doesn't make any sense, but you just start looking at it and thinking about it. How many of you have been obsessed with something before? And you were so obsessed with it, you ended up getting it. How many of you are married? Right? You were so obsessed with your partner, you made it happen, didn't you? And sometimes it made no sense to drive clear across town to go see your spouse, right? Your future spouse, but you did it anyway, right? Or you'd leave little love notes. Or you'd give flowers or whatever. Or you did just do. Am I the only one?
Brian would drive like 40+ minutes, like twice a day to see me. Brian.
Oh, see? That's awesome. So, hey, you gotta get that way about your Primerica business. You gotta get that way about a base shop. You gotta just, like, get obsessed with it. Because what you gotta get good at is relate to what that's gonna do for you. Because a big base shop pays you about 20, 30 grand a month. So what would 20 or 30 grand a month do for you? Can you imagine 20, 30 grand a month going in your bank account every single month? Okay? All the big base shop is, check this out. If you and 4 people did 4 appointments a week, you and 4 people, 4 appointments a week, that's a $30,000 base shop, that's $20,000 a month income.